Let me tell you what I can't do. I can't go out with them rollers again. Not with a scarf. No. Somebody, I want to say it was Lavita. I can't remember who left a comment, said that I look like Big Purr. I feel so honored and proud to represent. Like, you see so many people, they wear those shirts that'll say, I am my ancestors' dream and all of those things. I feel everybody should be proud of that. Like, me being proud of mine does not mean I'm stepping on or crapping on somebody else's, right? So everyone should be proud of where they've come from. Everyone should be proud of their heritage. I did plan on cyber stalking them. Like, when I was in the car and I realized I didn't have his card, I pulled off of the highway, pulled off onto an exit, and I debated a little bit with myself, like, should I just go back? Should I ask him for another card? But that seemed thirsty, because I feel like what I was going to do, knowing me, I'm not that person to reach out first. I just, you know how women shoot their shot and they do all the things? This isn't a shoot your shot scenario, mind you, I'm not saying that. But just, I've never been that kind of person to reach out to guys first. I mean, you know, although I'm not interested romantically, he's still a man and I'm still a woman. So it's just, it's not something I would do. What's up, y'all? I just wanted to fill a couple of my bases with ice and water and do these roses. I got these from Costco. They are not red and not orange. They're right there in between. If I had to assign it a color name, I would just call it blood orange. The weekend is winding down. I'm hoping y'all had a good weekend. If it was busy, I hope you like it like that. If it was chill, I hope you like it like that too. We can't be on the go all the time. I never use these packages, and my roses tend to last a very long time. I don't know that these are effective. But anyway, I did not get out and about and do a whole heck of a lot this weekend. Like, I didn't do nearly the stuff I wanted to do, but I did some of the things that I felt like I needed to do. Like, I'm really trying to develop the habit of working out. I set my alarm to make sure that I do that for myself, show up for myself. And I feel good about that. So my alarm goes off, and y'all, it was pouring down rain, like ridiculously. So I'm just measuring up to see how tall do I want my roses. Yeah, that's gonna be about right. And then I'll just cut all the others to that size. In fact, I think I'm taking off all the stems, as I probably typically do. But yeah, even when I didn't do that, I said, you know what, Heifer, you want to get into a better lifestyle, better shape and all of that, get up anyway, do something anyway. And so I did. I whipped out my reformer and I got on that. I also went to the gym this weekend. To be certain though, when I go to the gym, I'm honestly not burning calories. I'm just lifting weights. It's all about the weights. And at first I was thinking it took me about half an hour, but when I got done, I noticed that no, it actually took me closer to 45 minutes. Still not bad. Come on, car. And I hate being out here in real traffic. This ain't it. This ain't the life for me. Yuck. And it's funny I say that because I don't mind driving to do my walking. Somebody said that if they had to drive to walk somewhere, it would kill their motivation. It actually adds to my motivation, because me walking these same blocks all of the time, seeing these same sights, that gets a little dull for me. So I need a little more stimulation. I need different views and all of that stuff. So for that reason, sometimes I like to drive to the more posh areas and all of. I've always liked going to nice houses though. When they would do more of the home tours, I guess things are more online now, so they don't do it as much. But once upon a time, every Sunday, that would just be my jam. I would go and look at houses in nicer areas. If nothing else, I got design ideas, you know, or I just got to dream bigger
and decide, oh, I want a house like this or that, or, you know, primary bedroom that has these or those. So, yeah, I think I've never minded going to a different neighborhood for a different view and a different viewpoint. But getting in the car to drive to the gym, to be around other people who are huffing and puffing while I don't know, I just don't like it. I might have to end up seeing if I can buy some weights or something myself. I mean, when you think about it, buying a couple of pieces of equipment like what do you call that, a kettlebell? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or a couple of dumbbells and stuff like that. It's probably a whole lot cheaper than paying for a gym membership or the gas it takes to drive to one. And it'll be more convenient. But then I'll be back to those same views, won't I? I mean, it's the same views at the gym as well, so I guess it's 6 one way and half a dozen the other. We'll get that figured out. One thing I will say I like about going to the gym, though, to lift weights and all of that stuff, is I don't work up a good sweat. Maybe I ain't doing it hard enough. I don't know. But I will say it feels like my recovery from it. I'm doing 3 sets of 15 at 70. I'm on my 3rd set, 15 more to go. At one point I was really wiggling and like, I wasn't wiggling and jiggling to the eye, but on the inside. So I was like, oh, this I did something here. But the recovery from that was pretty good. And I think that's attributable to the creatine. But that's what I was going to say too about going to the gym, is that it doesn't mess up my hair like walking does. But I'm going to tell you, it's something so sexy about being independent and being able to do my own hair, because I do a lot of talking when I roller set with y'all. But if I'm not talking about it, it doesn't even take me 15 minutes to roller set my hair. So we just roll it up, and then it takes way longer for it to dry, which sometimes I'll give it like a 10-minute start on a dryer and then let the rest of it air dry. But yeah, being able to do my hair on my own, love that. Having to do it all the time, and don't love that so much, but you know, a little 15 minutes out of my day isn't going to kill me, and I can go around and do dishes. But let me tell you what I can't do. I can't go out with them rollers again, not with a scarf, no. Somebody, I want to say it was Levita, I can't remember who, left a comment, said that I look like Big Perm when I went to Aldi with them. Baby, the way I cracked up, I laughed till I cried. That tickled me so bad. I love my community in terms of the comments and all that stuff, because I really don't take a lot of things personally. You have to be just flat out offensive, and that was funny. I said, oh, I looked a mess. The comments that I get by and large are just not of a negative nature at all. They're really positive. So I say I love my classmates. I love them down. Like that's really good. But yeah, big girl, big worm. Oh man. I told my daughter about that. I had to take a picture, screenshot it, send it over, and she cracked up laughing. But I also took a picture of how I looked. I was like, hey, she ain't wrong when she right. So I'm really, really trying to form a habit. What does it take? Like 28 days, I think they say, to make a habit. I don't know that I'm going to do this 28 consecutive days, but I'm definitely giving it the old college try, as they say. So I'm feeling good about that. I also went to a brunch for an HBCU. All right, so for our outfit of the day, we're looking like this. I think it looks like a simple little brunchy get-up for tea time or something. That's what this really looks like. I didn't tuck my skirt, but you know, for the whole vibes and full effect, it would be more so like this, darling. But baby, when I tell you I am stuffed in this size 12. Yes, 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 yes. Anywho, I believe this is another AKA function. You would think I was actually an AKA as much as I go. I don't even think my girlfriend's in it. She's not. She's not an AKA either. But her mother is. And so they do a lot of the AKA functions. My aunt is, and I never see her at these functions. So my aunt's like, she's not active, and that's the same aunt who very much insisted that I pledge. I would have pledged, but at the time, they were on probation. I was going to say suspension. I think probation is the term. A probation or suspension, whatever it is, on which they stayed for a minute. Yeah, they might have been a little bit rough at my school. I never quite understood that either. You're mean and beat me, and then I pledge to you. I'm sure there's some kind of interesting psychology to it, but you ain't finna beat me and we become besties. I think that's written in the rule books. We're not gonna be besties if you're beating on me. But as an adult pledging, of course, I wouldn't go through the hazing, and people tell me that there are benefits. I haven't seen them yet because I have known and worked with AKAs, Deltas, Zetas, whatever. The sorority, I've worked with some who were sorors and they didn't get along, and that did not help them to do for each other. Let's just say that it didn't endear them to each other. So as a person who is not pledged, I kind of wonder, how true is that actually?
I did not attend this HBCU or any HBCU actually. Just I wanted to. I really wanted to. It's so ironic, but I wanted to go to Howard University. And I'm always like, yeah, I would have been there maybe close to the time Diddy was there. And, I would have met him. And that's what I used to say. Now, I don't say that so much. Things happen for a reason. But yeah, we just had some family issues going on at that time. At the time I would have gone off to college is right when everything kicked off. I was originally supposed to go to UAPB with my girlfriend. That's her family's alum. We were going to be roommates, the whole kit and caboodle. And then I heard of this place called Howard. Because that's at a time when A Different World was the show, honey, yes. Couldn't have told me I wasn't going to be Whitley Gilbert and find me a twine. But I don't know. I kind of got turned around with Howard. I wanted to go there. And then, like I said, family stuff happened. So I ended up not at all going to either of the schools. I don't know if that friend forgave me for that or not. But I know I never explicitly told her why I didn't go. I probably came up with some lighthearted excuse because the family drama wasn't my own and I didn't really feel comfortable with telling it. But yeah, I went to that brunch and that was pretty cool seeing that the girlfriend who invited me, her family is alum obviously, but they got inducted into their Hall of Fame and some other things. So it was so nice to be able to participate in that celebration. And then, like I said, went to the gym. I did some dancing, working out.
What's up, y'all? We back from working out, and I didn't really do a cardio workout per se. Well, I know per se, I didn't do a cardio workout at all. I did weights. Let me grab my brushes, y'all. So I just did weights, which is kind of good because when I do the weights, I don't sweat, which means, little quick shower and I'm good to go because I don't mess up my hair. So we still got a little piece of a hair from before. I'm using my eraser in 146.5 if you're my complexion. Hey skin twin. But yeah, this is just to cover up these darn spots that just will not clear up. It was so funny. I was at the brunch the other day, and when I put on the blush, because I was running kind of late-ish, I didn't really cover up the spots. And this man was like, "Oh, I just love your freckles." When I tell you, men really don't be knowing what the heck they talking about half the time. That's why when they say all that junk about, oh, I like a woman who don't wear makeup, I've even seen them say it to women with what I can tell is a full face of makeup. Like they'll have highlights, low lights, contour. You can tell they might have done a little bit of underpainting. You know, like just when I say full face of makeup. And they'll be talking about, yeah, I like a woman who don't wear too much makeup. Just a little bit, like what you got. That's good, that's good. I looked over at that lady, and she looked at me, and we both just smiled at each other. Half the time, I don't think men know what the heck they want. They just want say. And they want to say something. For a lot of them, it's best they just don't. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, but it seemed like even my dots, because I think I've been in the sun a bit much. Now I do wear sunscreen, but I don't know. It just seems like my skin don't need but a little bit of agitation, and it'll say, "Oh, it's time to act a fool." But anyway, I'm getting myself halfway together. I don't want to do no whole lot, but I want to get halfway together because I'm just getting ready to go to another little dance class as part of me trying to get more fit and all that stuff. I'm trying to have a more active lifestyle instead of sitting around. I want to do stuff that makes me move more. Y'all have been with me before to this stepping class, and we just gonna go back today. I hadn't been for a while. Like one time it was closed. I mean, they didn't have class because it was Mother's Day. Another time, just different holidays they close and stuff. And for me, as a new person trying to get out and do more and be more fit and stuff, that's all it takes right there. Just that little bit, and I'm happy to break a habit. But we're gonna keep trying to push through and persevere, cause y'all, why was I doing my little weights and stuff, and I look over at this lady, and she was a white woman, so I thought, first of all, I'm bad at guessing people's ages in general. If you're black, I really tend to scale down, or I'll call myself going up. I'm like, she black, so she look like she about 35, she probably 50. Baby, they be like 58, 59. I'm still off, but you still look 30, you know what I mean? So with her being of a different persuasion, I was kind of like, she looks like she could be 80-ish, but maybe she's just 65. She was 80. I had hit it on the head, but her body movement did not say 80. But I tell you, that lady was lifting them weights and doing them things, and I was just like, wow, I envy you. You the goal right there. That's it. I want to be like that. I don't want to look like that, but I want to, be able to move and stuff like that. And she was like, come here, I'll show you how. I'll show you what I did. I couldn't keep up with her. I couldn't. Give me time. I'll be back. I'm gonna try it, but give me time. My little beauty supply Zuri, putting it on to set it in place. Girl, I need to tap light because it don't look like I'm gonna be going to that beauty store supply no more, no time soon. They have really been showing their colors, and see, I'm gonna tell you, it's like two trains of thought. For me, I'm used to going down south where literally my hometown is separated by, well, Kansas City is really my hometown, but where my family is from, where I go all this, I don't know, take it how you want, but anywhere, they are literally separated by a railroad track. And when I grew up at that time, it was more like, I won't say the racism was in your face because they weren't super crazy with it, but it was clear. This is where the black folks congregate. This is where the white folks congregate, unless you're going over there to work or something, and the two sides would rarely meet. And we was cool. Like, we had a good time on our side. Like, I'm not that person who would trade her race for nothing. Like, are you kidding? I feel so honored and proud to represent. Like, you see so many people, they wear those shirts that'll say, I am my ancestors' dream and all of those things. I feel honored and proud from the beginnings that we had, from knowing that my grandmother pick cotton from, I feel good about that. Like, I just would not trade it. I'm sorry. And then I feel everybody should be proud of that. Like, me being proud of mine does not mean I'm stepping on or crapping on somebody else's, right? So everyone should be proud of where they've come from. Everyone should be proud of their heritage. But for whatever reason, there are so many people who assimilate to colonizers, who assimilate to other races, and they feel like in order to do that, they got to spit on us. So with that, I'm saying all of this Asian stuff, having them come out and burn a cross. You burned a cross? Like, you know darn well what that symbolizes. But that tells me you are so connected, or you so want to connect with whiteness, that you took the very symbol that white people used. Not all white people, I'm not confused on that. But you took the very symbol that the Klan used as a hatred for us, which, by the way, Jesus died on that cross, but you took that symbol and why you didn't burn something of your own ancestry? Because it's pure hatred. Like, you're telling us, you're directly, explicitly, and clearly telling us, we associate you with the same hatred that they associated. Like, that ran deep for me. I was like, oh. And if I thought that y'all would learn a lesson, if I thought that y'all would come back to your senses, if I thought that there would be a time that I would go back to your stores, you made it very clear that I should not. So I said, oh, I got it. But let me shut up about that. Well, after I say this one more thing, what's weird is that I think because I've been so vocal about it, AI does its thing with our videos and all the things that we say. I think because I've been so vocal, it's been recommending more people who are also vocal about things like that. This is my blush that I just love, butter. But I think it's been recommending more people to me, like, oh, what is her name? I said I was going to remember. Oh, and y'all probably know it, and I'm the one late to the party. Tabitha Speaks Politics. That's her name on YouTube. I think she comes over from TikTok, and I'm not a familiar person with TikTok. And I say that because when I look at her video, and at this point I've probably watched 3 or 4 of them. She's been talking about this lately. And I was like, yep, I saw that. Yep, I read that. Yep, But her videos look vertical. You know what I mean? Like how TikTok and Instagram look. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, she must come over from TikTok. But it's been recommending her to me. So I wanted to tell y'all about her. And again, y'all probably know her already. But she's got good stuff that she's been talking about as well. So I definitely don't need to be the person talking about it when we've got such a pro like her. But I thank them. I really do. I thank them for stepping out and showing us their true colors. Because I might have thought it was just 1 or 2, but they've made it very clear. It's a whole lot of us. And the fact that they didn't condemn the first people that came out, the fact that they didn't speak out against Chow for having killed poor little Cyrus, like, there's no reason a person who's running from someone should be chased. I mean, but they've made it clear that if not all of them, clearly the vast majority of them. And when it's the vast majority like that, then for my safety, for my sanity, and just for my peace of mind in general, it's best I just assume that it's all of y'all. It's kind of like the same way that in order to keep ourselves safe as women, we don't believe all men are rapists. We don't believe all men are out to get us. But just to be safe, just to be smart, what do? We make sure that we have our keys out and that we're ready. We make sure that we do all the preventative measures that need to be done to keep ourselves safe. That's how I'm moving with regard to this Asian boycott. It's not all of you, and I get that. It genuinely isn't. But just to be safe and just to be smart, I'm going to move accordingly. And I'm just going to keep myself away from you. Myself and my dollars. Adding a little bit of this NYX plumper. Like I said, I don't know that I really see a whole lot of plumpation going on with it, but I think I see a little bit, and every little bit helps, right? So that's why we do it. But anyway, we got ourselves together, just heading over to this little two-stepping class. I decided that since I'm going to the class, and 9 times out of 10 when I go out, I have me a little piece of a heel on, I'm gonna wear a wedge, honey, because it's baby steps. We tired, we done been to the gym, we doing all the things. But I'm gonna wear a little wedge to the class and see if I can still move. Now, if I come back with a twisted or broken ankle, please don't laugh at me. Just know that I was trying. That's all any of us can do is try. I'm running kind of late, so I'm not going to do the whole OOTD, but y'all will sure enough see what I wear. No, I did not put this on backwards. You ever notice when you're running late, you do more silly stuff? How does that saying go? The hurrieder you are, the behinder you get. That would be me. All the time. I can't even believe that. Probably would have been easier to take it back off and put it back on, but I'm not wearing a scarf over my hair, so. Oof. There we go. Bless my heart. All right, that's better. Wedge choice is just going to be this because it goes so well with this dress. Plus gives me a little height. Hello, darling. All right, let's put on a little smell good. We're going to lace up when we sit on the bench. Got my Bed Bath & Beyond. Is it Bed Bath & Beyond? Yeah. Covered in roses, a little bit of Chance. And then, where is my Dossier Cherry Dupe? It should be right up front where I can find it easy because I wear it all the time. When I tell you this combination here gets so many compliments on the smell. I had a Chance dupe and I'm running out of it. But so I have to spray my real Chance, but I love those fragrances. Now I will say though, with regard to Chance, the Dossier dupe of it smells just a little bit different to me. Just a little bit, but not enough to make a difference when you put that combo together. The combo still smells like Chef's Kiss. Let me tie up my shoes. We're not gonna do an OOTD. Y'all will see me in class. So I'll see you in a minute. You know, just, I don't know, I won't call it working out, but as long as I get to move, yeah, that counts. I did leave slightly early because I wanted to go to an education forum, you know, just about anything education and how we can improve the education of our children and things like that. I'm probably going to try to give it a listen. So what really drew me though was, y'all, I find a lot of my events that I want to go to on Eventbrite. Let me count. 3, 6, 9. Y'all know I'll start running my mouth and then I'll forget my count because you get 24 in there. But anyway, I look on Eventbrite and I see, oh, education forum. Okay, that already piques my interest. Start reading some names. Oh yeah, that name sounds, oh, I went to school with that guy. I went to school with that guy too. And then I saw a third name. Y'all, it stopped me cold. The third name was also a boy that I had gone to school with. I say a boy because that's what we were young then. That I had gone to school with, and his life took a turn. Like at one point, he dropped out of school.
But before I even get to that, let me tell you, this boy and I don't even know how to describe us. We weren't like brother, sister, anything like that. I low-key had a crush on him for a hot minute, but then he would get on my nerves so much, I halfway couldn't stand him. But we still circled back to each other, talked and teased each other, and he mentioned that when I saw him too. Excuse me, I need to put some more water in here. It's probably not as loud as I think, but just in case. Step out of frame for a second. But anyway, I see his name and I'm just like, is this who I think it is? Because like I said, he had dropped out of school. And, you know, like many of the other boys I was still going to school with, engaged in criminal activity. And, you know, the whole reason we call cops one time is because no matter how many times you break the law and have your fun and do all the things and get away with it, all they need is one time to catch you slipping, right? So sure enough, he gets caught that one time, and I guess he made the decision, I ain't going to jail, no. And it led to another crime, and anyway, long, sad story short, he ended up doing 36.5, as he said, 36.5 years in prison. And I'm not gonna say there wasn't a day that went by I didn't think about him, because there were, you know, I went about the business of living life. But there were a lot of times when I would think of him and I would pray for him and hope he's doing okay and all of that. So imagine my surprise when I see his name, because when he got sentenced, he was really sentenced to life. And given who the crime involved, I thought he would definitely do that life. I didn't think I'd ever see him again. But, and that saddened me. But I would still, like I say, think of him from time to time. And it would be like at milestone events. I would think of him when I went off to college. That's not something he would be able to do. I would think of him when I had my baby. That's not an experience he would get to have. I got those so uneven. I'm not happy with it. I have to go back and fix that and get that right. Make sure. There we go. I could bloom them. If I did, I wouldn't even be able to put the whole dozen in here. But I just need them to have some amount of level. And I was gonna put the stems in. You know, I still think I will. Ain't no was, we're putting stems in to fill it in some more. But anyway, I would think about him from time to time at all of my milestone events and just pray for him. So when I saw his name, I instantly knew, yeah, I gotta see him. I wanna go lay eyes on him. I seriously doubted he would remember me because, like I said, he had dropped out of school long before we graduated. And he ended up sharing that story too. So, you know, since he shared it publicly, I will too. We went to a predominantly white school, right? And so, I guess I was fortunate in that my parents, mostly my father, helped to prepare me in a lot of ways for the real world that I was going into. And he would tell me different things about, you know, we all get this speech. You got to be twice as smart to get half as far. And he didn't tell me that, though. That wasn't the speech he gave me. He gave me more so a speech of be aware of who you are. Because if you're not, people are trying to tell you. And it's hardly ever, if ever, going to be to your advantage. So this is who you are. You come from this stock, you know. And he even talked to me about slavery and things like that. And how it came about. Just from a historical point of view, not a victim, not a I'm so hurt about it and you know the white man is going to do this and that. He did not do that. He simply told it from a almost clinical teacher kind of way point of view. My father was also a teacher, but among other things. But that helped a whole lot and it prepared me. So anyway, fast forward and it let me know too that although you'll be told that slavery happened oh so long ago, it has no relevance on today's time and don't you believe it? because those who captured people and enslaved them had children and so on. And he said he doesn't know that racism will ever end in America. And that really stuck with me, but it also very much prepared me, okay? So bear in mind, I'm thinking of all this. I go to this predominantly white school. There are, and I'm aware of messages. It's getting warmish in here. Let me adjust my temperature for a sec. But anyway, he was just like, he told me the stories about the racism. I think that's about where I left off. I don't know, sometimes I hesitate because I'm like, dang, do I want to go down that rabbit hole? But I'm sharing with y'all my weekend, right? All right, so let me just adjust it a bit and just get to him. So anyway, he's someone I pray for all the things. We're in high school. He tells the story about how we were all gathered in the gym. I can't remember if he said it was an assembly or a pep rally, but something of that nature.
We had an assembly one time, and so most of us blacks, we were probably like maybe 10% at that time. We sat in a particular section. And then you have the white students and whatever else is sprinkled on another section. I recall a teacher the principal coming and saying, listen, you know, when you turn 16 years old, you can drop out of high school. But he was talking directly to the black students. You can drop out at any time. But then he went to this side and said, hey, getting ready for college preparatory, you can go to this college, you can do this. And so I remember that distinctly. And so I was like, And that's when I dropped out of high school. A year later, I dropped out because my teacher said, the principal of the school said, it's okay to drop out. So to answer the question, and not to belabor the point, I think it's more of a hands-on thing. It's more of an understanding where the child is in their life and their perspective, how they think, and molding it from that. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to use the education system that we have, but you have to show how it fits, how we fit, or that particular person. See, a lot of times we have this one size fits all. Just teach everybody the same thing, whatever, and we don't do the individual thing to understand the child.
And which message do you think happened to stick with my friend? So I didn't know that. I didn't hear it. If I would have heard it, it would have been like water off a duck's back. Because mind you now, my parents have prepared me and let me know that this is what the world wants for me anyway, so don't give it to them. So anyway, he hears that and he ends up dropping out of school. So, he was gone before he ever got sentenced, but I still thought of him from time to time. And then, of course, when he got sentenced, we'd all heard about it, and I was just really heartbroken for him. What I also liked was another one of the boys who had gone to school with us told us that he was instrumental in that boy turning his life around. He was like, oh, okay, they're handing out football numbers for this? Okay, let me stop. Let me pull up ranks. He ended up moving out of town and all the things. Whereas I just recently shared this, it's ironic, but I recently shared that, I just kind of knew I don't want this life. I want something different. I want something better. And so, I moved away right here in town. Didn't really leave, but I was just kind of done with that group of people. But yeah, he ends up dropping out. He, commits the crime that landed him in jail for decades of his life. And now he's back out. I see his name on Eventbrite, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I gotta see him. I gotta lay eyes on him and know that he's okay. This person I've thought about from time to time. And when I say time to time, I don't mean like once a year. I didn't think of him daily at all. I always thought of him at milestone events, but if I had to put a quantitative guess to it, I'd say I probably thought of him, I would say certainly on a monthly basis over all of these years. And then to see him and to see that he still had a good little spirit, I don't know that I would. He still had such a bright and easy smile. Again, I don't know that I would have that. And so it was just really good to see him. And after they did all of their talking, I walked up to him. I was like, hey, I don't know if you'll remember me or not. And you could just see his eyes going from eye to eye and then, just trying to take in my whole face. And the instant he actually recognized me, I could see it because his face lit up. He was like, oh my goodness, I was just asking about you. How are you? Of course I remember you, and da-da-da-da. And he was like, you used to tease me. I don't think he remembered he used to tease me because I was just giving it back. But, it was so nice to see him. That really did my heart good. I'm in a happier space knowing that he's in a happier place. And that's the whole truth. And here's the sad part, y'all. So he gives me a card, because mind you, he's one of the speakers. And he gives me one of his cards, and I don't know that I planned on calling him. I think my heart was full just knowing that he was okay. Here's my other group of roses. I just like it right over the top of the vase. But I don't know that I was planning on calling him, but I just know this. This is the weirdest thing. So as I'm driving away, I look in my purse, because, you know, I just want to see his card and see what is his title. And I kind of dig in this pocket. I couldn't find it. I dig in another pocket. Couldn't find it. Between leaving the venue and getting in my car, I'm still not even out of my car, I lost his card. I wasn't wearing anything with pockets. And so I look all throughout my purse, and I remember at one point, well, I remember two things. One, I was peeling this paper off the bottom of a cup. Mind you, I've been drinking out of the cup multiple times. But for some reason, I look at the paper at the bottom, I'm like, let me just peel this paper off. And I did it then, while I was still at the venue. Also, I thought I remembered putting the card in one of my pockets, right? And I think I put it in the same pocket as my cell phone. Well, before I got to the car, I'm looking to see what missed calls and stuff I had. So I think I dropped his card on the ground, and I hope and pray that if I did, he did not see it. He's not gonna see this video, I'm just telling it to y'all. But I hope and pray he did not see his card on the ground and think that Kimberly just, oh, she just took it and threw it down. And because that is far from the truth. In fact, y'all, when I was in the car and I realized I didn't have his card, I pulled off of the highway, pulled off onto an exit, and I debated a little bit with myself, like, should I just go back? Should I ask him for another card? But that seemed thirsty, because I feel like what I was going to do, knowing me, I'm not that person to reach out first. I just, you know how women shoot their shot and they do all the things? This isn't a shoot your shot scenario, mind you, I'm not saying that. But just, I've never been that kind of person to reach out to guys first. I mean, you know, although I'm not interested romantically, he's still a man and I'm still a woman. So it's just, it's not something I would do. But I did plan on cyber stalking him. Like when I was pulling out the card and I wanted to see his title, I wanted to know, what has he been up to? How long has he been out? What's he been doing since he's been out? I'm so glad that he's speaking, like he's turning his pain into a purpose, and the things that he was talking about are helpful to the community, you know, all the things. So I'm sure I would have I think that's the term, cyber stalking. That's not when you do something negative, is it? Because I think that's cyber trolling, but I just would have checked on him just to see and to know. And so it saddened me to some degree that I lost his doggone card. I don't know. I just, maybe that was all I was supposed to do. Maybe I was just supposed to see that, you know, my prayers, along with many other prayers, I'm sure, were answered, and he's doing okay. Oh my gosh, I need somebody to save me from myself. A simple move, never basic.